Right, let's talk about the Soul Stone and Infinity War and all that kind of stuff. Welcome back, guys, it's Geek here. Yes, I think this will be the third video I've made about the Soul Stone. What is the Soul Stone, when are we going to see it, and all that kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to Infinity War. It's like 10 years of movies leading up to this point, so I'm super excited about it, and lots of theories still about it. Who's going to be in it, where's the Soul Stone, all this kind of stuff, so let's dive into it. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the theories of the last couple videos. Check them out if you want to, but I will briefly touch upon them as we go into the video, and of course there may be spoilers. If there's going to be big spoilers, I'll probably say it before I say it, if that makes sense, during the video, so watch out for that. Main one probably be about Black Panther, but not really so much. If you've watched the movies, it shouldn't really need to be, something you should worry about. But you've been warned, there may be possible spoilers. So people are still wondering where the Soul Stone is, who has the Soul Stone, what the Soul Stone is, what's it encased in, all that kind of thing. And in the previous videos I showed this image where there's a theory basically that the letters of Thanos, or Thanos, whichever way you like to say it, spell out whatever sort of housing or sort of holds the Infinity Stone. And so far it's been paying off and has worked quite well. And personally I think this is probably true. I think it was probably leaked a long time ago, like on purpose, so people would theorise about it. So I'm going to pretend that it's true and we're going to work off that basis. So the one we're missing is H. Now there's been speculation that the H stands for Howard Stark. Essentially people think that Iron Man is or has the Soul Stone. And why I wanted to bring this up is because recently there's been some promo art for Infinity War, and people have decided that's confirmed it basically. Now if we look at the artwork, there's characters associated with each Infinity Stone, and Iron Man is there against the Soul Stone. So let's take a look at the other characters there and see if this holds water, that they are very strongly related to the stones they're against, and whether that means Iron Man is related to the Soul Stone. So we have Captain America for the Space Stone, and this is where, well, basically the Space Stone is inside the Tesseract, and that's the T part of the Thanos name spelling out each item theory. And of course he is associated with it because he has a bit of a dust up with the Red Skull trying to, get it off him kind of thing. So it is in his movie, however, it's made its rounds a little bit, it's been in multiple movies, so it's still very relevant, but maybe not 100% relevant, so I'd say it's like a 7, 8 out of 10 relevance, which is still pretty high. We then have the Power Stone, and this was inside the Orb, which is the O part of the Thanos theory. And the Orb is what Star-Lord was trying to get hold of and deliver and all that kind of thing, so you can see Star-Lord is associated with it on the image, the promo art, and the relevancy is very strong. The Orb, or the Power Stone, was revealed in that movie and is basically the MacGuffin of the movie, a big plot device, so I'd say the relevancy for that image, that character being associated with the Power Stone, is like 9 out of 10. And then we have the Time Stone, and we have a picture of Doctor Strange for that one. Now, as you know, the Time Stone was in the Eye of Agamotto, which is the necklace which Doctor Strange has, and that's the N part of the Thanos theory, spelling his name out. And of course, it was the main thing he used in the movie. It was revealed in his movie. He'll have it in Infinity War, so the relevancy is like 10 out of 10. We then, for the Reality Stone, have Thor. Now, of course, the Reality Stone was inside the Aether, or is like the Aether, and that's the A part of the theory, and it was revealed in the Dark World, the Thor movie, so the relevancy is very, very strong. At one point it was inside his love interest of the time, Jane Foster, and all that kind of thing, and Malekith was trying to use it to defeat him, so yeah, it's basically only been seen in that movie properly. It was of course given to the Collector in the end, and presumably it's still with him somehow, even though his place blew up, I don't know. But yeah, the relevancy here is very strong again, I'd say 9 out of 10. And then for the Mind Stone we have a picture of Vision. And this of course was originally inside the Scepter, which is the S from the Thanos theory. And of course the relevancy here is 10 out of 10. Vision has the Mind Stone, he only exists because of the Mind Stone. It's in his head, so it's perfect. So given how strong all those connections are, it does then make you think, well, Iron Man would be out of place if he wasn't somehow related to, relevant to the Soul Stone. And that's why people are thinking, yep, so it definitely is him. And the people that believe the Thanos spelling theory is correct, such as myself, still think it could be him because H could be Howard Stark. So let me explain what that means and why it's Tony Stark even though it's H for Howard Stark. The theory is that Howard, Tony's father, somehow used the Soul Stone to create Tony altogether. How he did this, I have absolutely no idea. But some people think that the message he leaves for Tony isn't just like sentimental, meaning he made him, you know, a normal way. They think he actually made him like an experiment.
What is and always will be my greatest creation is you.
To me this seems bonkers, but this is a universe where anything goes, so a slightly more believable theory is that Howard knew how to create a new element based off his experience with the Tesseract, and we know that he was limited by the technology of his time, so he left a message for Tony about it. Essentially, he made the blueprints in the Stark Expo 1974 of how to make this new element.
This is the key to the future. I'm limited by the technology of my time, but one day you'll figure this out.
And then Tony, because he's really, really clever and he's got good technology at that time, makes this new element. And it's now in the arc reactor, which is in his chest. It's also why people believe that Loki couldn't use the scepter against Tony, because, well, the power of the Soul Stone would cancel out the power of the Mind Stone. You know, it just wouldn't work on him, basically.
How will your friends have time for me when they're so busy fighting you? This usually works.
But this still makes absolutely no sense to me. The stones are concentrated ingots back from when the universe started. Why would a new element in a silly little triangle that Tony made be the Soul Stone? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, perhaps it could pass as a substitute for it, but it still isn't it. Unless the Soul Stone somehow has been destroyed, it's just not it. So personally, I don't see how either Tony is or has the Soul Stone. To me, it doesn't make sense, but it does still work with the H theory of, you know, and all that kind of thing, so it's worth a mention, but I personally just think it isn't that. So then you may ask, well, why have they used a picture of Iron Man on this promo art against the Soul Stone? Well, they had to put someone there, didn't they? Given that Tony Stark is a huge character in the MCU, he started the MCU, you know, the first character in the MCU was Iron Man, it makes sense that he would be listed there, wouldn't it? So that could be why. They also know people will then theorise and be like, oh my god, he must be doing the Soul Stone, and that will throw them off the scent of what the Soul Stone really is, so that's another thing they do. I mean, for example, if they didn't use Tony Stark and they used the actual person associated with the Soul Stone, who's maybe a minor character or a lesser character, such as Heimdall, we then know as Heimdall. We'd be like, well, that's what we thought it was, and they've used that. He's not in place of the other Avengers or something like that, or, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, so to use him there makes it be him, basically. I mean, if they did put Heimdall there, and then it wasn't him, that would be a cruel troll, wouldn't it? That would be a very extreme troll. I think they troll us a little bit by putting Tony there to make us think it's maybe him, but putting the person who doesn't make sense to be there, but everyone thought had the Soul Stone or is the Soul Stone, then for it not to be him is just even too big a troll for Marvel to do to us, so I don't think they would put him there for that reason. So I still think, as per the first few videos I did, that Heimdall makes sense. I won't go through all the reasons again because I've done them in previous videos, but, you know, his eyes are the colour of the Soul Stone, orange. He can see all the souls in the universe. We see a vision that Thor has where, you know, it's created by Scarlet Witch, but where Heimdall doesn't have his eyes, and it could be like a forewarning that he's going to get them taken off him or the power taken away from him by Thanos at some point. Basically, it just seems like it could really be him, and of course he's H, so he still fits the Thanos spelling out each item housing it, or thing housing it, and that theory still works. Now, another theory is that it's in Wakanda. Now, this does actually make quite a lot of sense. We see from the Infinity War that Thanos goes down to Wakanda, most of the crew are there, and there's going to be a big fight there. But there's only two reasons, really, that it could be happening there. One is that the Vision is there, hiding away, and they're all trying to keep him away from Thanos, because as we know, Wakanda is like hidden away from sort of satellites, and you can't really trace that it's there, and it's quite well hidden off the map, and so it sounds like a good place good technology, lots of people there to fight against, so it's a good place to put a stone to protect. Other than that, I can't really think why they'd be in Wakanda. There must be a stone there, or multiple stones there, that Thanos is trying to get. I mean, we know he's already got 2 stones, and spoilery, but I mean, probably you've seen the Infinity War trailer by now. You can see in his gauntlet he's already got the Space Stone, courtesy of Loki giving him the Tesseract, and he's already got the Power Stone. Presumably he went to Xandar and maybe killed all the Nova Corps, I don't know, but got the stone from there as well. Now the Aether is presumably with the Collector still, Vision is, or has, the Mind Stone, and Doctor Strange has the Time Stone on the Eye of Agamotto. Well, let's say that Thanos is going there because of the Soul Stone. Well, what could the Soul Stone be in Wakanda? Now, a lot of people think it's the heart-shaped herb that gives Black Panther his powers and gives him the ability to go to, like, the Soul World and see the previous Black Panthers and that kind of thing. And of course it satisfies the theory of the letters, because it's H, either the herb or heart part of it, doesn't matter which. But I don't think this makes sense. The herb is there because it was created by the contaminated soil, made this mutated herb that gives special powers, and it's contaminated by the meteorite, the vibranium meteorite that hit Wakanda and changed the soil. So the herb, or herbs, can't be the Soul Stone, can they? They're herbs. Like, you can't have multiple herbs to be a Soul Stone, just doesn't make any sense to me. And also, spoiler alert if you've not seen Black Panther, we see all the herbs get burned at the request of that annoying brat of a villain, Killmonger. I mean, maybe they've grown back, or someone stole a couple, or something like that, but basically the herbs are all gone. But what does make sense is if it's the heart of Wakanda. That satisfies the H, and I'll tell you why it makes more sense. Now, sometimes the heart of Wakanda refers to a sacred tree, and sometimes it specifically refers to the meteorite that I mentioned. We possibly see this tree in Black Panther, in like the necropolis when T'Challa goes there. I don't really think it's necessarily a tree. I think the meteorite makes a lot of sense. I mean, the meteorite is massive, like massive, made of vibranium, and it comes from space, like where those Infinity Stones started. So why not be that the Infinity Stone was inside, the Soul Stone's inside, it's got loads of vibranium for it, it's flying through space, and it happens to crash down on Earth, and it's still in the centre of that meteorite. I mean, they've not got anywhere close to digging out all the vibranium yet, so it could still be in the centre. Its powers sort of permeate through the vibranium, gives it all the cool technology they get, goes into the soil, makes those herbs that give them special powers. It all makes sense to me. But either way, yes, it could be in Wakanda, either inside the tree, or inside this meteorite, or they could be one and the same, the trees come from the meteorite and that kind of thing. It could be there. And one thing you've got to remember is that on the gauntlet, the Soul Stone is going to go in the big hole. We're pretty much sure it's going to go because of previous videos and pictures. So if it's like the main thing that he's searching for, the last thing he's searching for, it's the last stone that gets revealed, taking up the biggest space, it doesn't make much sense if he then gets it like only after sort of 2 stones in Wakanda. That to me doesn't really make sense. I mean, there's no law that says that couldn't happen, but it just seems like it's out of order. It seems like it'll be the last thing he gets. But if he is in Wakanda and it isn't, say, the meteorite, this still works, because it could be that he gets there with his army, the meteorite's huge, he knows it's inside of it for whatever reason, and he takes it. Like, they somehow pick it up, take it off of them, and then his team work, banging away at the vibranium to get to the middle of it, and that takes a bit of time. In the meantime, he still goes around and gets the other stones, and then by, say, the end of the movie, or maybe in the sequel, he finally gets to the Soul Stone, he can put it into his gauntlet. So yeah, this could work. And I have to mention that I did say in my previous videos, I definitely don't think it'd be a Black Panther movie. Still kind of right, because it wasn't properly revealed in it, but it could well be in Wakanda. And this brings me to one final point about what it could be and some stuff about the Infinity War in general, and this is to do with Hawkeye. Now, you may have seen Hawkeye wasn't in the Infinity War trailer, and there's not been loads and loads of promo stuff for him, so people are sort of wondering, why has he been forgotten, or is he a special character, or what's going on with him basically. Now personally, I really like Hawkeye. I think he's brilliant. I don't know why everyone thinks he's so lame. I know he's just human, but that's, to me, what's so good about him. He's still badass, he can still keep up with the rest of the team, and he was really, really funny in Age of Ultron, and I think he's a good character. And then recently, during an interview, a talk between the Russo brothers, part of his role, what he's up to, why he's not been shown much, is revealed, and they give this quote. Coming out of Civil War, he's in the same position that Cap and the Falcon are at the end of that movie, and Ant-Man. Coming into this movie, you know, characters on Cap's side coming out of the Civil War, some made certain decisions and others made other decisions that led to different paths in them dealing with oversight in this movie in a different way. So Hawkeye's on his own journey in this movie and is tasked with a super secret mission away from what the rest of the Avengers and other heroes are doing. So he's part of a super secret mission. So what could that be? Well, it could be that he's searching for the Soul Stone, or he's got it and he's trying to hide it, or something like that. And of course, H for Hawkeye still fits in sort of with the theory, not as well as the other bits because they've been sort of what's housing it more, whereas this will be that he's just got it, but it still kind of works. There's also another fan theory that maybe him and Nick Fury are going to find Captain Marvel because she's got the Soul Stone, so, you know, who knows. The only issue with this though is that it looks like Hawkeye is actually going to take on the Ronin persona. A Ronin is like a master of the samurai, you know, like a lone warrior. So that kind of throws a spanner in the works of the Thanos spelling it out theory, because obviously R isn't H, so it doesn't really work. But even if he is Ronin, it doesn't mean that he can't still be tasked with trying to find the Soul Stone or hide it, and that the Soul Stone isn't still somehow related to something else beginning with H. So it still kind of works. It could still be that he's doing that, but we still just don't know what that H is. But like I say, this all is based on me thinking the Thanos spelling out thing is true. If it isn't, it could be anyone, it could be anything, it could be anywhere. That would take a long time to theorise about, so sticking to that theory of the letters makes it a little bit easier to think about. I mean, not that much easier, but a little bit easier. So there you go guys, a little bit of what's going on with Infinity War, but mainly where the hell is the Soul Stone? If you were a gambling person and you could find a website or betting shop that would take on the, you know, the bet of where the Soul Stone is, don't think you'd be able to, but you know, if you could, I would say put your money either on Heimdall or that it's in Wakanda, like the heart of Wakanda, something like that. But it could be Captain Marvel, could be Iron Man, could be anything. I just don't know. And what's more annoying is I personally don't think we'll even find out in Infinity War. I think they may well wait until the sequel to Infinity War, so that'll be even more annoying, but we'll have to wait and see. Not long now though before we find out if it's Infinity War, because it's only out next month now. If you're watching this after that, then it's already been shown. What do you think guys? What is your theory? Do you think the Thanos letters spelling out which thing has the stone inside is a load of nonsense, and in which case, where do you think it is? Let me know in the comments. And if you want me to make a particular video about theories or something to do with Marvel, whatever, then let me know. I may even still do a video where I sort of basically go through what happens in the Infinity Gauntlet comic as well. So that might help us know where it's going to be. But let me know. So guys, if you like that, please click like. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next video. And until then, remember, don't try and make a theory about the Soul Stone, because it just drives you up the wall. You just don't know where it's going to be. Keep having to make new videos. For all I know, it's somehow in the DCEU. And they're just making a mockery of us. I don't know. Okay. Bye. Guys, if you're still here, you're awesome! But as you are still here, why not check out some of my other videos? Oh, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe. Laters, haters.